Before we start the film, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell to receive all the latest updates we provide. In today's film, there is a girl who is broken up with by her boyfriend, which puts her in a state of depression and sadness, and she doesn't feel like doing anything. Her friend comes over and convinces her to go to the gym to get rid of the negative energy. There, when the gym trainer sees her, he becomes very interested in her and starts to like her. When they are alone in the gym, he approaches her in a strange way. To understand all these events, we need to watch the film to the end. Our story begins with Melissa, a strong and lively girl, celebrating her anniversary with her husband, Trey. She thought he would give her the diamond ring she had been dreaming of, but it turned out he gave her a piece of rock, and told her that he would take her on a trip to the mountains. Melissa refuses and tells him that she hates heights and has a phobia of them. It appears that there are conflicts between them, with no understanding, as each of them has different opinions, leading them to decide to separate. A week after the breakup, her friend Leslie comes to console her and stand by her. She says to her, "Why are you sad? You were like the moon, full of energy in college days." She encourages her to go with her to the gym to get rid of the negative energy. At the gym, Melissa meets the handsome and charming gym trainer named Trey. Trey tries to get closer to Melissa and shows a lot of interest in her. He helps her with the exercises and encourages her to keep going. After a few days, they go to a fine arts gallery, where Melissa meets Adam, an elegant and attractive young man. The next day at the gym, Trey takes some pictures of Melissa before the workout to compare her body shape before and after the training, which motivates her to see the changes she can achieve. Trey, with his charm, gives her a smartwatch and tells her that it will help regulate her sleep and monitor her heart rate, which will encourage her to take care of her health and keep up with her daily workouts. He links the watch to his phone so he can monitor her health status. At the end of the workout, Leslie points to another athletic guy and suggests Melissa meet him and go out with him. Trey feels jealous and upset when he hears this, showing that his feelings for Melissa are deeper than they seem. The next day, Trey suggests that Melissa try mountain climbing in the gym. Melissa initially refuses, claiming she has a phobia of heights, but he encourages her and assures her that she can stop whenever she feels scared. Leslie objects to this suggestion, but Trey insists that he wants to help her overcome her fears. In the end, Melissa manages to complete the challenge without any problems, making her feel proud of overcoming her fear, and she thanks Trey for his support and his cleverness in pushing her to face her fears. Later, Melissa returns to the art gallery where she works as an artist, painting expressive paintings. 2 days later, Adam invites her out, and she, already having an interest in him, agrees. They spend a pleasant time together, and he takes her to his apartment, where they are being watched from a distance by an unknown person in his car. The next day, Trey asks her about her relationship with Adam, and she tells him that they're dating and that he's a nice person. One night, Trey watches Melissa through the smartwatch he gave her, noticing her heart rate increasing when she is with Adam, which makes him more jealous and angry about her new relationship. The next day, Trey goes to Melissa's house to check on her when she's late for the gym, and a hint of sadness appears on his face when she introduces him to Adam. While they were at the gym, Melissa kept talking about Adam throughout the workout. Each time Trey got frustrated by her talking, he increased the speed of the treadmill to tire her out so she'd stop mentioning Adam. With the high speed and running, Melissa eventually lost consciousness, and when she woke up, she found herself in Trey's office with him sitting closely next to her in a very awkward position. 2 days later, Melissa was telling her friend Leslie that Adam hadn't contacted her or checked on her for 2 days. Leslie bluntly said, "I don't know why you like him. Back in college, all the guys were into you." She reminded her of the chubby guy who thought she could like him, and sent her a ton of heart emojis. The next day, Melissa handed her phone to Trey to charge it. Trey seized the opportunity and unlocked her phone. When he did, he saw that Adam had messaged her, asking her out. Trey replied to Adam, pretending to be Melissa, saying she was busy at the gym and that if he wanted to see her, he could come there. Then, Trey deleted Adam's messages and blocked him from Melissa's phone. Trey set up the gym, waiting for Adam to arrive. When Adam showed up and asked about Melissa, Trey told him she wasn't there. Adam said he would wait and work out with her. Trey, trying to control his anger, started lifting weights and then challenged Adam, saying, "Can you lift more weight than I can?" He asked Adam to lift his own weight. to which Adam agreed on the condition that Trey stay nearby to help if anything went wrong. But Trey left him and turned up the music while Adam called for help. At that moment, the gym weights were about to fall on Adam, which could have injured him. However, Adam managed to regain control and placed the bar back before he got hurt. Adam said to Trey, "You were supposed to help me as we agreed." Trey replied, "I couldn't hear you because of the music." In the days that followed, Trey started getting closer to Melissa in ways that went beyond training, even putting his hands on her body in a strange manner, which made Melissa feel that something was off. She began to suspect his intentions and grew cautious around him, thinking he wanted a relationship with her. The next day, Melissa confronted Trey and told him she had decided not to return to the gym. He tried to persuade her, saying, "Why waste all this effort? Your body has improved so much, and you're seeing great results." But she insisted on leaving the gym and signing up somewhere else. Trey showed signs of aggression in his conversation, trying to pressure her to stay with him at the gym. When Melissa sensed he was trying to force her to continue, she got angry, left, and went home. That night, when she went to her art gallery, she found it vandalized, with all her paintings torn apart, as if someone had deliberately destroyed her work. The next day, something strange happened. Melissa's ex-boyfriend, Carter, came to her apartment to pick up his belongings. He told her, "Tell your new boyfriend to stay out of my way. He's been sending me threatening messages, and if it happens again, I'm calling the police." When Melissa arrived at her friend's house, she told her everything. Her friend decided to help her, but they found that the threatening messages had been deleted, leaving only odd messages with just Melissa's name. It seemed that someone had hacked her accounts and was using them to send these threatening messages. Melissa and her friend were left puzzled, wondering who could be behind these threats. Meanwhile, we see Trey in a deteriorating mental state, appearing tense and struggling. He had been overweight as a child and suffered bullying for his appearance, which turned him into an angry and aggressive person. Leslie told Melissa that they needed to figure out who had access to her phone. After a lengthy search, Leslie discovered that the person sending the messages was Trey, the same guy they went to school with, whom they used to mock, which led him to become aggressive. Unfortunately, Leslie and Melissa were among the main people who bullied him. Before Leslie could tell Melissa, Trey appeared from behind and knocked her out. Melissa later discovered at home that Trey was the one sending the messages and blocking people from her phone. She immediately removed the smartwatch he'd given her and rushed to the gym. There, she found her friend in bad condition from what Trey had done to her. She tried to call emergency services or the police, but before she could provide her location, Trey realized what was happening and overheard everything she was telling the police. At that point, Trey understood that the police were tracking his location and would come to arrest him. At the same time, Melissa discovered that Trey had not only kidnapped her friend but also Adam, whom he had tied up and beaten. Trey began fantasizing about a future with Melissa, saying, "You'll be mine, whether you like it or not." Filled with fear, Melissa slapped him across the face and ran, hiding in the dark. She approached Trey from behind and choked him until he lost consciousness, then freed Adam so they could quickly escape. However, Trey regained consciousness before they could get away. He hit Adam, causing him to fall, and said to Melissa, "You'll never belong to anyone else. I won't let you go to someone else. I've loved you since school." He once again started envisioning their future together. Melissa struck him on the head with a dumbbell, knocking him out. The police arrived after everything had ended, and some time later, Melissa opened a new art gallery, and her life returned to stability. She began receiving numerous messages filled with red hearts from prison. They were from Trey, who was sentenced to 5 years in jail. The film ends with Trey writing many letters on red hearts to send to Melissa. If you enjoyed the film, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to get all our latest updates.